Love. That four-letter word seems to dominate so many of our thoughts and actions. From the time we are young, the stories we are told, the media we consume, the advice from friends, all seem to push this idea that true happiness and fulfillment can only be found in the arms of that special someone. But could this relentless chase for love actually be setting us up for disappointment? That's the perspective offered by the ancient wisdom of the Stoic philosophers. The Stoics lived over 2,000 years ago, but their teachings have remarkable relevance for many of the challenges we face when it comes to relationships today. As Marcus Aurelius said, "Dwell on the beauty of life, watch the stars, and see yourself running with them." At the very core of Stoicism is the belief that our happiness should come from within, not from external things or other people. As Epictetus said, happiness and freedom begin with a clear understanding of one principle. Some things are within our control, and some things are not. The Stoics saw emotions like love as a natural part of life, but cautioned strongly against letting them rule over our actions and priorities. Seneca warned that we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. How much of our suffering over love comes not from actual events, but the stories we tell ourselves. When we believe that finding love is critical to being happy and fulfilled, we set ourselves up for an endless chase after something that is ultimately beyond our control. We become like a donkey chasing a carrot dangling from a stick, constantly seeking something that remains forever out of reach. This desperate grasping for love can lead us down many harmful paths. We may overlook red flags, tolerate partners who mistreat us, and abandon friendships or passions, all because we have put love on a pedestal as the magical solution to all of life's problems. In our loneliest moments, we may find ourselves falling into toxic relationships, confusing drama and intensity for love and connection. We pin our very self-worth on whether we currently are coupled up with someone, losing our sense of identity in the process, caught in this cycle of chasing love but never being satisfied. We lose the ability to appreciate all the existing beauty and wonder that each day can offer us. So what do the Stoics suggest instead? Is it to close ourselves off from love completely and live like hermits? Not at all. Stoicism is about moderation over extremes. As Seneca wisely said, success means doing the best we can with what we have. Success comes to those who seek it in a certain way. The Stoics encourage us to embrace relationships mindfully when they enter our lives, while also cultivating self-sufficiency and inner peace. When we come from a place of lacking neediness, we establish healthier connections based on mutual growth rather than dependencies. We can fully engage in each moment with our partners rather than always anxiously planning for the future or clinging to some ideal of permanence. As Epictetus put it, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. By focusing less on finding love and more on loving ourselves, by avoiding extremes and learning to go with the flow of life, we can discover the fulfillment we've been seeking all along already lies within us. We all likely have more learning and growth to do when it comes to love. Lord knows I still struggle with this at times too. But hopefully the next time you catch yourself desperately chasing love, you'll remember some of the Stoics' wisdom. Focus on nurturing the love within you. Appreciate the relationships that manifest without clinging or unrealistic expectations. And no matter what happens, keep cultivating your inner light. Learning from Stoics Today. This journey of self-discovery is not one we have to walk alone. The Stoic philosophers of ancient times can provide guidance, wisdom gained from lives filled with both profound hardship and joy. Marcus Aurelius knew struggle intimately, thrust into power as Emperor of Rome at just 19 years old, and yet through it all, he retained a sense of tranquility by looking inward. As he wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." The Stoic philosopher Seneca echoed that sentiment when he said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." How much pain have we brought upon ourselves by building up fantasies in our heads of perfect fairy tale romances? The stories we tell ourselves about love have power, but so do we. Another prominent Stoic, Epictetus, encouraged his students not to waste energy grasping after what is beyond reach. As he put it, make the best use of what is in your power, and take the rest as it happens. Question what you think about love. We cannot force love to appear on our schedule, no matter how fervently we swipe right. But we can make the most of each moment, developing our interests, spending time with friends, traveling to new places, immersing ourselves in hobbies that bring us joy. Love may enter our lives during such pursuits, or it may not. But either way, we're expanding our world, deepening bonds with others we care about, and discovering more of who we are. The Stoic philosophers dealt with oppression, loss, betrayal, exile, but they never let external events shake their sense of inner worth and dignity. As Marcus Aurelius reflected, reject your sense of injury, and the injury itself disappears. Now, I'm not suggesting we tolerate abuse or disrespect in relationships. Being treated badly is never justified, but perhaps some pain could be avoided by examining our own unrealistic expectations about love. Have we absorbed society's messages that finding the one will solve all problems, provide constant excitement, and meet all needs effortlessly and permanently? Do we sometimes ignore red flags or warning signs because we so desperately crave the status that comes with being part of a couple? The Stoics would caution against such delusions. They would remind us that everything changes and ends eventually, even in relationships. But our ability to choose wisely, act virtuously, and control our perceptions, that inner domain is forever ours if we but tend to it. There may be value in occasionally depriving ourselves of external pleasures and distractions in order to examine our core beliefs and habits of thought. As Seneca wrote, "Set aside a certain number of days during which you shall be content with the scantiest and cheapest fare, with coarse and rough dress, saying to yourself the while, 'Is this the condition that I feared?'" By temporarily limiting physical comforts while expanding mental spiritual self-examination, we can recall what truly matters and let go of attachments to superficial things. This frees us to enter relationships from a place of genuine connection, rather than neediness or insecurity. We've explored how chasing fairy tales can cause suffering. But what might a life look like living by Stoic principles when it comes to love? Picture a woman who cultivates diverse friendships, engages in work she finds meaningful, travels to learn about different cultures, and practices mindfulness through yoga and hiking in nature. She faces each day's ups and downs with equanimity, confident that she can handle whatever comes, because she bases her self-worth on her own character rather than external validation. She makes choices from a place of self-knowledge. A long-term relationship would be welcome, but its absence takes nothing away from her rich life. When a promising connection does manifest for this woman, she enjoys getting to know her new partner fully in each moment. She doesn't make assumptions about the future or become attached to early intoxications that may fade. She maintains interests and activities outside the relationship. Choosing from inner security rather than desperation, she notices red flags quickly and acts on them decisively by establishing boundaries or exiting situations that don't serve her growth. If the relationship does progress into deeper commitment, she savors the intimacy while accepting impermanence. She doesn't look to her partner to complete her or fix her flaws. She stays anchored in herself. This is the radical promise of the Stoic perspective on relationships, the possibility to walk through both togetherness and solitude with self-possession, equanimity, and inner peace, not by repressing our longings or closing our hearts, but by temperately accepting what comes while nurturing the only thing always in our power to nurture across the seasons of life, our deepest selves.